Hey guys, well, today I want to talk about doing prison time with Gene Gotti. Now, I'm going to give you a lesson today in life, okay? Don't go to prison. That's a very important lesson I'm trying to teach you guys. Now, when I went to prison, in all honesty, I was 23 years old. You know what? I was a young kid. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun around these guys. I enjoyed their company. And for me, you know what? I was doing 5.5 years. I ended up doing close to 6 years. I had a state bid on top of my federal bid. When I left McKean prison, I had the state outside waiting for me. They picked me up. They brought me down to Rikers Island. From Rikers Island, I went downstate where they shave your head. They give you a number. Then when you're downstate, you then go to your designation. And that would be where you're going to stay the remainder of your time. I seen the parole board. The parole board hit me with some time. I had organized crime on my record and some violent crimes, and they maxed me out. They CR'd me. So I did a close to 6 years on that time. I went away May 10th of 93, came home November 11th of 98. So 5.5 years I did on that. Came home. I was home for almost a year. Got mixed up with some bullshit. But now all the crimes I committed were from 93, 92, 91, 90, 89, 88. Now, all the serious trouble started once Georgie Conte killed John Polio. And we thought it was Michael Hamster. Then later on it comes out, but we were having beefs with this kid, Mikey Hamster, and Bobby the Chico at the time. Now, growing up, I was very friendly with Bobby the Chico. And, then he started doing some foul shit to me and my friends. And I broke off my relationship with him. Me and Joey Calco end up shooting Mikey Hamster. We both go on the lam. But I'm going to take you back, okay? Now, in 1993, May 10th, I got picked up for a bank robbery. So when I got picked up for a bank robbery, they picked me up. They put me in this white outfit. They take all my clothes off, put me in a white outfit. They start taking snips of my hair. They take a little of my blood. Like, they want to know if I was involved in other bank robberies. And they got my DNA. This is what the feds do. So then from there, I got transferred to MCC Manhattan. MCC Manhattan, went to the 5th floor. When I got there, Sally Fusco was there. I started working out with Sally Fusco. Sally Fusco is a wise guy in the Colombo crime family. He knew all the guys in the neighborhood at that time. Georgie Conte was outside. He made a phone call. He reached out to people. He wanted to know who I was. And they confirmed that, yes, I'm from Bath Avenue, and I'm one of the Bath Avenue kids. So I started hanging out with him and this other kid, Mikey Bloom. They were fun guys to hang around with. They ended up robbing a bank. And what happened was they got convicted. And then all of a sudden, Carmine Sessa comes forward. He cooperates. He's a captain or an underboss in the Colombos, and his testimony releases them. So in 1993, I got picked up. By the time I got to McKean, it might have been 95. Okay, late 95, I get to McKean. I got maybe a year left to do before the state comes and picks me up and takes me to New York State, because I have the New York State bid on top of the federal bid. So once I'm done with the federal, the state's going to be outside and pick me up, in which they did. So when I got to McKean, okay, Patty Dellarosso was there. Joe Gambino was there. Mike Spinelli was there. A couple Boston guys were there. Some Philadelphia guys were there. So you had a lot of guys throughout the mafia in prison throughout all these other states. You had Chucky Porter. He was the boss of the Pittsburgh family. You had his brother Billy there. You had Ralphie Tortino. He's a Bronx guy. He's a heroin guy. You had some other guy, Red, there. But you had a lot of wise guys there. And you had some Cleveland guys there also. So there's a lot of guys throughout the federal system, and they're throughout all the states. Now, one thing about these mafia guys, this way you know, right away they get into politics. Everyone thinks that their family is better than the next family. So I'm selling with Mike the Head. Mike the Head is a Bonanno associate with the Bonanno family. I was good friends with his daughter, Lisa. My girlfriend, Lori, and Lisa grew up together. And he becomes my cellie. I give him the bottom bunk. I take the top bunk. And we're doing a bit together. All of us, we're having a nice time. We're cooking, things like that. Joe Gambino cooks. He's a great cook. Another old man there was Charlie Bellamente. He was another old timer my mother knew, and I knew from the neighborhood growing up. He had a cafe on 18th Avenue. And all these guys are there. And Joe Sis was just there too. He's from my neighborhood. He's one of the guys who robbed the armored cars. And Joe Sis ends up dying there in McKean. So that's another wise guy that died there. Now, all of a sudden, Mike the Head that I'm selling with has a stroke. I wake up one morning and he don't get up. He's just looking at me. And I'm like, Mike, are you okay? And he can't talk. He's like, So I go, holy shit. I said, Mike, is everything okay with you? I said, Mike, I'm going to get the CO. And he's telling me not to get the CO. Like, no. He's waving his hand, no. And I'm saying, no, I'm going to get the CO. So I go get the CO, and they come with the stretcher, and they put him on a stretcher, and they get him out of there. Now, Mike the Head had a stroke, okay? His name is Michael Lemo, okay? And he had a stroke, and I actually saved his life. The people come back, the unit manager and stuff, Mr. Calandra, you end up saving his life. Yeah, he's in the hospital now. So I reach out to my girlfriend. She reaches out to her friend Lisa, and she tells her your father had a stroke and stuff like that. So, then when I come home, I end up going to their wedding and stuff like that. But I saw Mike the Head when I came home, but he ends up having a stroke. I don't want to get off the story. Now, then all of a sudden, Gene Gotti's there too. Now, Gene Gotti ain't selling with me when I get there. It's like when you sell with somebody in prison, you really get to know them. You really get to know their character. You get to know if they're a good guy, if they're a troublemaker, if they're drama, if they're a tough guy, or they're just full of shit. So when they took Mike the Head out, Gene Gotti saw that I had an open cell. He was selling with some Puerto Rican kid or some black kid, I don't remember. And he ends up coming to me and says, Jimmy, I want to come in and sell with you. So I go, you know what? Okay, no problem. Because I respect these guys. I really do. Throughout my neighborhood, I respect these guys. I didn't know Gene from the street. I met Gene in prison. He seemed at the time being a nice guy. I didn't know his Machiavelli ways. And he plays that Machiavelli shit, divide and conquer. And that's what those guys do. So I give him the bottom bunk. I say, you know what, come in. Now, if you know how to do prison time, this is how you do prison time when you're in jail. You always give your cellmate space. So when you come in, we take showers. So if I go to the shower, you leave the cell, you go sit in the common area, go sit in the TV room, go take a walk on the compound, whatever the case may be. Now, you give me my space. So say I need 45 minutes, I take a shower, you got to put powder on your balls and stuff like that. And, you put your skin cream on, you brush your teeth, all that. So this is what we all do. And then my cellie, when he goes in, then I give him his time. It's all about space and it's all about respect, because then when you get locked in that cell, you got to wait to a certain amount of time to come out of that cell. But I was fortunate to be in McKean when the doors were open 24/7. Then there was the riot and stuff like that. And even at one time, they had Willie Nelson, the music guy, the singer, actually come to the prison and sing for all the inmates. That's another story. I'll tell you about that one time. The guy Corky, who was close to the Genovese guys, he's the one who got Willie Nelson to come there. So you got all these wise guys there. You got Ralphie Tortino from the Bronx. You have the Boston guys. You have Pittsburgh guys. You have Philadelphia guys. And you have a lot of New York guys, right? So now all of a sudden, the two Georgies come. Georgie Conte and Georgie Zappola. So this is how I know my story, how people can verify it, and it's the truth, because I have nothing to lie about. So the two Georgies come. When they come, of course, you know what? I see them. I'm happy to see them. And, I kiss them hello. I ask them what they need, stuff like that. And I got them both a job in the education department. Now, in the education department, there was a couple women who were in charge. I was on very good terms with them. I had a good job over there at detail. So when Joe Gambino came, I got him a job in the education department. I got Patty Dellarosso a job in the education department. And I got the two Georgie Zappola and Georgie Conte in the education department. And there was a big rug in front of the education department when you walk in. And the two Georgies, what they would do is they would have to get the vacuum, and they would vacuum the rug. I would see them. One of them would vacuum half of the rug. They would hand it to the next Georgie, and they would vacuum the other half of the rug. Now, the two Georgie Conte and Georgie Zappola, they were both wise guys with the Lucchese. They were both captains. Georgie Zappola was Georgie Conte's captain. Eventually, Georgie Conte moved up a rank to captain too. And they did a lot of work on the street, these guys. They were definitely about something. And they were serious guys. They were around gas pipe. So what happens is, when they come in, Gene Gotti starts whispering to other guys on the compound and guys that he's associating with that Georgie Conte and Georgie Zappola are rats. Be careful what you tell them. This is the word that Gene Gotti is spreading throughout the compound. So all of a sudden, one of the Georgie Zappola or Georgie Conte ends up going to the hole. Of course, they end up finding out that Georgie Zappola and Georgie Conte can't be together. So they put Georgie Conte in the hole, and Georgie Zappola is on the compound. Now, Gene Gotti is telling people that, somebody is a rat. And Georgie Zappola is telling me, he says, Jimmy, this guy's going to cause a lot of trouble. He's telling people that, Georgie Conte and Georgie Zappola are cooperating on the down low. You can't trust them. Don't say anything to them. Now, this is what Georgie Zappola is telling me. So I'm giving you an idea of what Gene Gotti was like, okay? He was the type of guy, he wanted to cause drama and chaos towards people. Now, I never slapped Gene Gotti. So when Johnny A-Light told that story is bullshit. But this is the story that happened, okay? Me and Gene were selling with each other. He said something about me and my friends. He said, first he used to talk about Sparrow. He never met Anthony Sparrow. And he used to ask me, he said, Jimmy, how's Anthony Sparrow? And I used to tell him, Anthony Sparrow's a really good guy, because he was very close with Joe Messina. So Gene Gotti would tell me, what do you want to do with yourself when you get out of here? He was asking me, do you want to get straightened out? And I was saying, you know what, Gene, I don't know what I want. I have a girlfriend for a long time. But see, he didn't know on the down low, I was in touch with Mikey DeSantis, and I was in touch with Manny Madonna, okay? So I was very friendly. I was writing letters to Mike DeSantis's mom and dad's house, and they would send a letter to him. And I was also in contact with Manny Madonna. I would call Big Geyser. He would answer the phone, and he would give me wise words and stuff like that. So I end up having an argument with Gene Gotti, and he said something like, "I'll kill you and all your friends." That's what he was telling me. So I went in his face, and I stuck out my chest. And I was a young kid, maybe 25, 26 at that time. And I told him, I said, "You ain't fucking killing nobody. Okay, you see that button you have? I don't give a fuck about that button. Okay, I'm not going to hit you, but let me tell you something. I'm not afraid of you." And all of a sudden, Joe Gambino sees me screaming on him, but I was hot. I was mad, you know. And Joe Gambino gets in the middle of us. And he says, "Jimmy, what are you doing? Calm down, calm down." And Joe Gambino saying, like, who gives him the confidence to talk like this? Meaning me. And I said, "Joe," I said, "you know what?" I said, "This guy's no fucking good." But throughout the course, Gene Gotti caused a lot of trouble in McKean. I never saw him get slapped. I saw him and Patty Dellarosso sit down with each other. And I saw Patty Dellarosso talk to him, talk down to him, because there was a lot of Lucchese guys there, and Gene didn't like the Lucchese guys. There was also a guy there that owned one of the strip clubs in Queens. He was a Genovese guy. He was around the Genovese crew. When he first came in, he was a mad smoker. And he looked familiar. And what happened was, he said he needed cigarettes. And I got him a carton of cigarettes. I said, "Hey," his name was Ronnie. I said, "Here, Ron." I said, "Here's a carton of cigarettes." And little did I know, I didn't know this guy was a millionaire. This guy was like a millionaire. So he said, "Jimmy," he said, "let me send you some money." And I was like, I said, "No." I said, I'm good. You know, at this time, my friends are sending me money from the street. You know, after they killed Paulie G, I was getting an allowance every month. They were sending me maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a month. They go by my mother's, or they call my girl and they hand it to her. So I had some money in the street coming to me to take care of my commissary. So this guy, Ronnie, ends up being a multimillionaire. He takes a liking to me. He says, "Jimmy," he says, "you ever hit the street?" He's doing like 1 year or something. And he ends up sending me $1,000 in my commissary. I didn't know this guy had anything. So just by doing the right thing, he took down my numbers and he made his wife or somebody send me $1,000. And I said, "Ronnie," so you don't have to do that. It's very kind of you, you know. But I was always a respectful guy towards these guys. And, you know, I never disrespected them. But Gene Gotti did cause a lot of problems in McKean. Now, then all of a sudden, Johnny A-Light comes, you know, and I'm selling with Gene at this time. And Gene tells me to, "Jimmy, you know what? This kid, he used to be a friend of my nephew's, but you know what? There's a wire on him saying he's no good." So, you know, and I never repeated that after he told me that. I just had my antennas up to make sure, you know. But all these other guys, as far as Georgie Zappola, Georgie Conte, Patty Dellarosso, none of these guys associated with Johnny A-Light, okay? That's for sure 100%, okay? Anyone can tell you different. I have photos with all these guys. I was very close with Mikey D, Manny Madonna. And even when I left McKean, I was still on good terms with Gene Gotti, because I made sure I left on good terms with everybody, okay? Now, my friend at the time, my friend Joe, was getting married in Russo's on the Bay when I came home. So that's the last time I spoke to Gene Gotti. And Gene Gotti actually got me and my ex-girlfriend the hall, Russo's on the Bay, when I came home. He made this kid, I don't remember his name, but we had a meeting at Russo's on the Bay. We picked out, we were going to get married. It never happened. But the last time I spoke to Gene Gotti was when I was in Russo's on the Bay. I forgot the kid's name, but those people are around Gene Gotti. They're with Gene Gotti, those people. But this is just a short story of giving you an idea of the wise guys in prison and how they interact with each other. A lot of wise guys don't like each other in prison. If you're from the Lucchese family, yeah, you respect each other, the bond, you might say hello, but a lot of guys don't like people. And there was this other guy from Chicago, Soli, they used to call him, and he was in McKean for a little while. And every time Gene would pass Soli, uh, De Laurentiis, I think his name was, he was in Chicago, he was a boss, Gene would make a remark like, Chicago, like Chicago was shit. But this is what Gene Gotti used to do to other wise guys. He would antagonize and try to get underneath their skin. So I'm giving you an idea of the Gottis. You know, Gene always had a chip on his shoulder. He thought that his shit didn't stink. And he thought that because he was doing a 50-year bid, old law, you do 30 on 50, that his time was better than anyone else's time. Now, a lot of guys that I came across, the small time I did 6 years in prison at that time, they said, Jimmy, your time is just as good as anyone else's time because you have to do it. So these are the wise words that these old timers used to do and used to say to me, you know. But I learned a lot from a lot of guys in prison. But I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully this is interesting for you. I have a lot more prison stories. And so I hope you enjoyed that, okay? With that all said, you know, there's a lot of things I want to address on YouTube. You know, YouTube is a freak show. A lot of people, what they do is they try to destroy someone's character, and they want to make the people on YouTube, the subs and the followers, not like the character of that person. So they try to destroy my character and other people's characters. You know what I learned in life? Sometimes silence is golden. Not saying anything is saying a lot to these scumbags out there, because they really are a bunch of lowlives and losers. And I'm not going to address them. I'm going to address them in another way. And the thing is, you can't come on YouTube and knock people and talk about their character in a bad way unless you have proof of it. Because if not, your channel will be taken down. Now, these people have gotten away with a lot, with all the things they say about these people that are trying to do good in life. Now, me personally, I changed my life around, okay? I'm not the person I used to be. If I was the person I used to be, believe me, these people will be eating their tongue 100%, okay? So I'm going to take the high road. I'm trying to do better in life. I'm at a different place in my life. I got 2 children. I'm a role model to my children. I want to be a role model to others. And it's only going up from here, okay? To all my subs, I love you guys. I know it's hard to get any of my merch. I got hats, mugs, and T-shirts. And some people, I am actually giving away some stuff for free because it's Christmas. And, you know, it feels good for me to just give. You know, this is the season where you give. And I like to give. I want to help kids. I want to help people, even adults. I want to help anyone I can through the experience I live. I want to share it with you. You know, and in my life, as I get older, you know, I'm becoming more into God. You know, I want to do things. I want to change for the better. You know, there's a beginning and there's an end. You know, I'm not going to be here forever. You know, I want to be remembered for the right thing, not the wrong thing. And, you know, if I could give a good message and help anybody out there, that's what I'm going to use this small platform for. Okay, so with everything said, I appreciate all the kind words I get from you people. I appreciate you being in my corner. I love you guys. I love God. God first all the time. my children I love so much, and the person I have become, I am very proud of. With that said, have a great day today. Enjoy your weekend that's coming. I'll see you on Sunday live. We could talk about a lot of things, chop it up, and we could talk about the freak show that's going on YouTube, all the hate that's out there. And they should start spreading some love instead of hate. But it's the envy and the jealousy that's getting to these people. And the devil is working on them. You know what? But he can't work on me. With that said, I love you all. Everyone, have a great day. And I'll see you Sunday at my live. Take care, guys. Bye.